Howdy, everyone. It's Sam. Welcome back to the Wobble and Jaw Sports channel. If you're new around here, I hope I can get you to consider liking the content and subscribing to the channel, or if you are a regular around these here parts, thank you very much for the continuous support. Yo, the NRLW fixture got dropped approximately an hour and a half ago at time of recording, and as you can see in your bottom right corner there, and by the paraphernalia that I'm wearing, I'm a Cowboys fan, and I got to live react to the fixture that just got dropped. And just to inform you all that the NRLW season kicks off on the Saturday, 22nd of July, but also furthermore to the point that training starts at the end of May, or around that time anyway, where they got to lock up their teams. So really looking forward to checking this fixture out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to do a live reaction to the entire fixture. So here we are, the first game of the season. And yeah, I saw this before I popped online. I had to. But the first game of the 2023 NRLW season sees the North Queensland Cowboys play, and they are travelling down to Cbus Super Stadium to take on the Gold Coast Titans, and it's being played at Cbus Super Stadium at 12:50 p.m. and it is a double header down there at, in Titans country because the Titans and the Roosters NRL's men's competition kicks off just a couple of hours after this. But you can rest assured, man, that I'll be there to see this game. I'm going to do everything within me power to try and say g'day and check these ladies out in their first ever game in the inaugural North Queensland Cowboys game. So that's the way they kick off. The premiers, the Newcastle Knights, later that afternoon, take on the St. George Illawarra Dragons at McDonald Jones Stadium at 3:10 as well. So that's that they get the champions straight onto the scene there. From Sunshine Coast Stadium, the first Saturday night free-to-air game, and this is a brand new thing that they're doing in 2023. Usually there's no, barely at all, there's any free-to-air Saturday night games, and from the 22nd of July this year, there will be some contests, and this one pits the Broncos up against the Roosters up at the Sunshine Coast, and I reckon it's at the Sunshine Coast Stadium because Suncorp will not be able to be used because of the FIFA Women's World Cup. And I think you'll find that this fixture probably is a bit mucked around with because of the FIFA Women's World Cup happening the exact same weekend as the NRLW kicks off. The Parramatta Eels on the Sunday at midday play the Tigers in their first ever game. And then the two new kids on the block go head-to-head from PointsBet Stadium. The Sharks take on the Raiders. And just looking at that, every single game is going to be on Channel 9 in round one that weekend. So that's fantastic stuff. So I haven't seen what happens in round two. We'll go into round two. So that's the Saturday. And we have a Thursday night game at the Gabba, the Broncos and the Titans on Channel 9, Thursday night footy, 5:40 p.m. I imagine that's that is a pure double header as well. Like the Broncos and Dolphins, I think, would be playing that game after the women's matchup on that Thursday night. I think so. Thursday night footy, good stuff. The Raiders and Roosters, 12:50 on the Saturday. So no Friday night footy, but the Raiders play their first ever home game against the Sydney Roosters. The Dragons and Eels do battle from WIN Stadium in Wollongong. Oh, okay. And then the Cowboys are going to Belmore the week after to play on a Sunday to take on the Newcastle Knights. Newcastle Knights having a home game at Belmore. Surely, potentially, Central Coast Stadium could have been used for Newcastle instead of having the girls travel down to Belmore. But okay, they're playing at Belmore Sports Ground. And same too with the Tigers and the Sharks, the three of the four new teams coming into the competition this year are playing at Belmore on Sunday, the 30th of July. Tigers at Belmore, eh? Well, I guess it just fits well with the doubleheader, but I honestly don't know why Newcastle Knights are taking down a home game down towards towards Belmore. We got Luther King in the chat. Howdy, man. Thank you very much for your time and choosing to come in and say g'day, mate. Going to Belmore to play the Knights. I know, mate. I know. I hope you're doing well too, King. Thank you very much for dropping by and saying g'day. Yeah, wow, okay then. So we move into round number 3 now, and we got I guess a rematch of the grand final from last year, but of the first portion of last year. Roosters and Dragons at the SCG on Thursday night footy. And then on the Saturday night or the Saturday afternoon at 12:50, the Cowboys take on the Broncos at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. And that would just about be the same day. I reckon that is the same day that the men's Cowboys Broncos game takes place. So hopefully all you local Townsville folk get there early to go see the girls play their first ever home game at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. On the Saturday, the same day, Sharkies, they play against the Gold Coast. We move into the Sunday grand final rematch, Sunday afternoon footy, Parramatta versus Newcastle, Channel 9 at 12 o'clock. And then the Raiders and the Tigers do battle that same day. But while there is a grand final rematch, I can't help but look at that fixture right there between the Cowboys and the Broncos, bro. Can't wait to see how that one rocks and rolls. Moving now into Saturday the 12th, so no Thursday night footy in round number 4. We've got the Dragons versus the Raiders at WIN Stadium at 11 o'clock. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff. And then from Totally Workwear Stadium in Brisbane, the Cowboys are taking a home game away from Townsville to play the Tigers at Totally Workwear Stadium on a Saturday afternoon. Well, it gives me another opportunity. To check out the North Queensland Cowboys NRLW side. And then I'll probably stick around to see how the Broncos and Eels do battle. A doubleheader at Totally Workwear Stadium on Saturday, the 12th of August. Alrighty. Moving into Sunday afternoon footy now. Sharks and Roosters and Knights and Titans at McDonald Jones Stadium. So Knights do travel back to McDonald Jones Stadium. Round number 5, Queensland Country Bank Stadium at 11:05 a.m. I don't know who would be playing. I don't know where the Cowboys are playing that weekend, but the Cowboys NRLW side is taking on the Sharkies on a Saturday. We've got still on Saturday Seabus, CommBank, so there's no double headers. So Tigers are at CommBank, Titans are at Seabus. That's good stuff. And the Knights are at McDonald Jones, and Raiders are at GIO Stadium. Good stuff. Even furthermore. And then from Netstrata Jubilee Stadium on Saturday afternoon footy, we've got a doubleheader that sees the Eels and the Cowboys, the Dragons and the Titans go head-to-head. And still on the Saturday from Allianz Stadium, Roosters and Tigers. And then from Totally Workwear Stadium, again, the Broncos, this time host the Canberra Raiders on Sunday, the 27th of August from midday. That'll be a hot one. And the Knights take on the Sharks. Going into round number 7, GIO Stadium, Saturday, 11 a.m., Raiders and Knights, Saturday, 12:50. The Broncos are taking a home game up to Townsville. So Broncos and Sharks, and then Cowboys and Dragons. That's a doubleheader from QCB Stadium. Sunday, Seabus, Titans are at Seabus. And then the second game on the Sunday, the Roosters, they've got a game up at the Central Coast Stadium. I refuse to call it what it's been called nowadays. I hate what the new Central Coast Stadium has been called these days. Thursday night footy returns with a local derby, the Sharks and Dragons. I think that's the first ever edition of Sharks versus Dragons, is it not? I hope I'm not wrong there. But Sharks and Dragons on the Thursday night footy game. Tigers are taking a home game to the Hunter Valley to host the Broncos on Saturday. The Knights hosting the Roosters on the Saturday as well. And then on the Sunday so Cowboys are taking a home game, their second home game away from Townsville to play the Canberra Raiders, 11:30 a.m. from Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. on the 10th of September. That would just about be the first day of finals, you would imagine, for the NRL, I reckon. So that would be the first week of finals, surely. If not, it'd definitely be the second week. But I reckon that's the first week of finals for the men's. Titans and Eels round out round number 8, and that is the penultimate week. So round number 9 is the final round of the regular season. Let's see what happens. So from Campbelltown Stadium, Tigers and Knights on the Thursday night. On Saturday, there is a double header that sees the Roosters and the Cowboys play out at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium, Dragons and Broncos as well. And on Sunday, there is a double header from Canberra Stadium, Eels and Sharks, Raiders and the Gold Coast. I've got to soak it up a little bit more, obviously, but that's just my live reaction to it all. And Cowboys taking 2 home games away from Townsville. I wonder what the other clubs are doing in that regard as well. Just upon initial reaction, I don't think Sharkies are taking more than 2 games away from PointsBet. But yeah, I guess I'll have to have a bit more of a good hard look at it all. But just to make it just more of an exclusive now for the Cowboys stuff. So the Cowboys start their history, start their NRLW history on the road 2 weeks in a row, and then they are at home 3 weeks in a row. But one of those games is being taken down to Brisbane, where they take on the West Tigers. So 2 away, 3 at home, and then it's away, 2 home, but one of them down at Seabus, and then the other one is away. So technically, their last home game of the season occurs 2 weeks out before the season actually finishes up. So, all right then. Well, that's it. That's the just me reaction to the NRLW draw. I'm so terribly excited, mate. Just want to say hello to Flash Blue. Hey, man, thank you very much. We'll be tipping the Raiders women's team all year. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Flash Blue. Both men's and women's teams, I hope, will go good for the season. That's awesome. So, thank you very much to everyone that just tuned in and said g'day. I just wanted to get me a quick reaction out there. Saturday, the 22nd of July, the North Queensland Cowboys. The NRLW season just starts all up, and the Cowboys have the honour of being one of the 2 teams that kick us all off from down at Seabus Super Stadium on the Gold Coast, where they take on the Gold Coast Titans. Yo, dude. All right, then. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. Cannot wait to see how the season kicks off. And tune in not just for tonight, Cowboys versus Sharks, or Sharks versus Cowboys commentary with Hold the Ball, but next week, Wednesday, 7 p.m. Terribly excited. The inaugural NRLW Cowboys head coach, Mr. Ben Jeffries, will be joining me and Cowboy Kate live to talk about the season ahead. And it's pretty bloody good timing that this draw got dropped as well. So thank you very much, guys. I'll see you guys later on tonight. Take care. Adios.